Trying to describe flower would be like trying to describe color to somebody who's been blind from birth. You just have to experience it. There isn't really a genre that this game fits into. What I can say is that this game should be at the pedestal on the game side of the can games be art argument. This $10 download from the PlayStation Network is developed by That Game Company, the same people that produced Flow early in the PS3's life. Flow was, in fact, one of the first downloadable games to appear on Sony's fledgling network. One thing that has always troubled me is why developers can't seem to get motion control on the PlayStation 3 right. One of the selling arguments for me was when Dylan Job was called out to show off Warhawk at E3, and he's doing the entire demo with the motion control. But whenever I turn something like that on games like MotorStorm or Warhawk, I can never shake the feeling that it feels very tacked on, and is much harder to control than if you were to use the sticks. Is it really so hard? My point through all this is that Flower is one of the extremely rare games that, after the first 10 minutes or so of getting used to it, you wouldn't switch to analog control even if you had the choice. Throughout the entire game, there are lines of music playing in the background, and the mesmerizing thing about Flower is that every time you pick up another pedal, another music note sounds, meaning that if you stick to a constant route through the trail of flowers, you will end up enhancing the music playing all around you. All the environments are pretty different, and there's a real sense of accomplishment once you finish a level, especially in the later stages. For a game that doesn't really appear to have much of a story, there are surprising twists and turns in a near non-existent narrative that you will likely not see coming, with a particularly satisfying final level. As you've probably gathered by watching this video, Flower is a game in which you control the wind. As you fly through different flowers, you can pick up more petals and eventually collect a long trail of flower petals behind you in something that reminds you of a Chinese parade dragon. This game is all about the graphics. You feel so satisfied once you have transformed a grim gray environment into a colorful and visually appealing meadow. The grass physics in this game may not seem like something I should be covering in a review, but since grass is the most plentiful element in the game, I figure I'd better mention it. As you swoop down low to the ground, the grass will bend out of your way as your wind current rushes through it. It's quite an impressive sight that never seems to get old throughout the entire game. There are two noticeable problems with this game. Both can be easily forgiven, but they do need to be mentioned, and they might scare some people off. The first is that the game is a little on the short side. I completed it in a little under 2 hours, as each level will take you around 15 to 20 minutes to complete. Now some will say that you shouldn't expect more than this for a $10 downloaded, but I can't help feeling disappointed, and that there should be more. It's not like it ends abruptly, it just ends way too soon. The second complaint is one that sadly takes you out of the game quite often. Whenever you complete a section of the stage you're playing, the camera will pan away from your trail of flowers to show you what you have just brought to life or show you where you need to go. Sometimes it's very satisfying to watch a patch of dead grass become a lush green meadow, but the camera showing you constantly where you need to go feels unnecessary, as there is usually a trail of windy lines showing you where your next objective is. I understand why the developers did this, as it can take some players some time to notice these wind trails, but I would have much preferred something at the beginning of the game that points these out to you, rather than the camera constantly panning away from you to show you a route that you'd usually notice anyway. Flower is not an action game. There is only one short section of intensity in the entire game. However, it's not a game any open-minded PS3 owner should miss. It relaxes you and is even more relaxing when played after an intense game of Resistance or Motorstorm. Flower on the PlayStation Network gets a B+.